Hello my friends and welcome to another stream of Adobe Live. I have the very, very talented digital creator Luca Peterson. Lucas, how you doing?
Lucas, Luca.
There we go. Plural. Nice to meet you, man. How you doing?
Good to meet you too, brother. Yeah? I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah, okay, cool. So let's jump into it about who you are first of all, like for our lovely audience out there. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and what you kind of work on?
Sure. So I am a content creator based in Shoreditch, London. I'm literally around the corner from here, so this is perfect.
That's right. Roll out of
I
bed
know, right? Literally, yeah. I create content around travel, photography, cinematics. You know, I'm moving into the world of VFX. Trying out AI, acting, all sorts to be honest.
Dabbling in all these little pockets.
Everything, man. I just like making videos, to be honest.
Your Insta. I mean, I had a little binge before coming up there, and I was obsessed. One thing I even mentioned before we came on stream for you lovely folks about Madness, but you got like a sort of web slingshot Marvel kind of thing going on. What programs do you tend to use like when you're making this kind of content? Is it range like Premiere Pro, After Effects?
That's between Premiere Pro and After Effects to make that, and I followed like a tutorial of a really favorite creator, one of my favorite creators to do that. But yeah, mainly After Effects for the majority of that, which is my favorite.
That's your sweet spot in terms of programs that you like to work with.
Yeah, I love them, man. I love them. I mean, Photoshop and Lightroom are great, but like I have the most fun in After Effects.
To be fair, I think that's the beauty of our light industry. Like we're always gonna have a little bit of a favorite like program we like. I'm an InDesign guy. I'll put it
really?
Yeah, I like tutorials.
Can't say I've ever used it.
It's great, but I haven't really used After Effects, so there we need to do
there we
skill swap. And of course, to lovely folks at home, I haven't even said hello to you. I'm a terrible guy. So we've got Oliver, Tim, Anika, and Gareth. So welcome. If you're streaming on YouTube, of course, get those questions in the chat, and I'll share them with Luca with the next sort of 20 minutes or so. So Luca, just jump straight into it. I know you're very active on the social media front. That's very, very cool. In terms of your content and the style of your work, how would you best describe the style of your work? Or does it range depending on what you're working with? Or do you have a big question, I know?
The style of my work.
What energy do we get when we first look on Luca?
I think it's clear that I'm quite high energy when someone jumps onto my profile. I get that a lot when I do my Q&As. It's very much, damn, how do you have so much energy all the time? I don't know, I just do. I just love what I'm doing, man. I just love what I'm doing, man. It's just fun. Like I have fun doing this. Yeah, making cool videos. I get to make just fun things every single day. Like I dreamed of this when I was younger. Like it's so fun.
And on that topic of like going back, like younger days, did you go to university? What's kind of like your background in terms of how did you self-taught?
Completely out of the blue, man. I used to work in finance. Okay. I'm not a finance guy. I'm not a finance guy whatsoever. I did not. Yeah, my hypeness in finance didn't go down too well. Can't say my bosses at the time were very happy with me, but no, man. I stumbled upon it one day. I knew that I was always creative. I knew that I always wanted to do something in the creative kind of sector, whether it's acting, whether it's presenting or something like that. And I just stumbled across a video one day by one of my favorite photographers, a guy called Peter McKinnon. I'm sure that all of the photographers out there know this guy. And I was hooked instantly, man. And I just started binge watching, creating. I got a camera, started making videos.
That's quite refreshing because I think the beauty of Adobe Live, what we do, obviously, we have a range of folks from students to graduates to being in the industry for years and years and years. And I think it's quite refreshing hearing how you kind of came into it from not maybe necessarily the traditional route from maybe education and actually doing something like finance. So out of the vastness from creative. That's quite cool to sort of see how it kind of came about. Has things organically kind of grown over time in terms of who you work with now, clients and so forth? Has that kind of been...
That's organically, over time it's like, I started properly posting on social media during lockdown. Lockdown's when I thought, you know what, I'm going to start giving this like a proper go and like going at it. And I started posting, short form content. Did really well, and then just kind of like went from there, and brands started reaching out to me. I started working with other creators, like getting more out there. My pages started growing, and it's kind of just like it's all happened organically.
Interesting you mentioned during lockdown, because I feel like there's a period for a lot of creators where we had time to hibernate, and be outdoors, and it's like, what do I now do? I mean, there's only so much Netflix I can complete in a day, right? And it's interesting you use that energy of having things to do like productively, right, and actually creating the content. And like, even now we're like post-COVID, do you feel like the engagement is still very much like that now as well with your content?
I found, like platforms have changed for sure. Platforms like TikTok are not what they used to be during lockdown. I feel like lockdown TikTok, man, you could post anything. As long as you're on there, it's gonna go. But now, like, I don't know. I always think with my content, how can I make this even more better, more polished, and take it further? And from that, we see great engagement. Especially on like platforms like Instagram. I feel like I've got a great, community base on there. I chat with them every single day. The same people are always in the comments and adding on. It's It's good on there. I think, you know, engagement's really great.
And one thing I picked up on when I first saw your work is that your content is that it's fun. Like it's very, I mean, even before coming on the stream here, if any of you guys are following Luca, you would have noticed we did like a little story, and your energy, I was like, dude, like, give me some of that energy. Like,
where did that come from?
Like, give it to the rest of us all in the stream, because it's awesome. But yeah, I mean, that's sort of next question I was going to ask was like, do you feel it's one thing to have the skill set as a creative, but the people skills and like the element of, you know, if you're fun and you want to do stuff because you enjoy it, does that kind of come into the energy of your work, and actually people going to buy into you as a person? Not necessarily the work, or does it kind of work in conjunction with the skill set and the people skills? Do you find that they work together?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just comes it comes naturally, dude. I love being around people. I love meeting new people, and more importantly, like I was saying at the beginning of this, I love what I do. Like it's so fun making videos, meeting other like-minded people who like making content as well, and it's just like instantly we hit it off. We come up with ideas, we create cool things.
Good vibes, and
it's just good fun, man. It's just good fun.
And I can see some questions on the chat as well. I'm not ignoring you, lovely folk, I promise. We've got Tim, who said, what compelled you to start creating content and keeps you going these days when creating?
Compelled me to start creating content was, you know, I saw YouTubers like Peter McKinnon and people like that I really, really looked up to at the time, and just inspired me a lot, and thought, I want to give this a go. I feel like I'd be good at this. You know, I feel creative. I wasn't working in a creative job, and I thought, you know, I'm going to give this a go. And then when things started to do well, it gave me more confidence of like, okay, you know, this is good. Yeah. And then the thing that keeps me going, like I say again, I love it. It's fun. Yeah. It's good fun. You know, I think if you're not having fun doing this, then you're doing it wrong. It's it's real fun. So I just like to do it. I mean, this is like every day now. And, you know, I'm fortunate now that it's got to a stage where I've got a team around me. Who, you know, I bounce ideas off, I work with, we create together.
Family, you can just like
exactly,
energy, yeah.
like you know, it's you know, I've got people I work with on a daily basis. I'm blessed with my fun.
Right. And our topic of fun, I mean, today obviously we are streaming from the very sunny Truman Brewery, East London, and I always say, well, you know, you can see us, but we can see literally a world of creativity out there. I mean, how has your experience been? D&AD, second day in. Have you enjoyed have you come today?
Today is our first day. I mean, it's great. They've got some great songs.
There's a lot happening, though.
Have you been to the tattoo stall yet?
I want to get. I've been locked here. I haven't seen much, but I'm gonna go later. But,
I put on my story. No. I put on my story. Should I get a tattoo? Should I let Adobe give me a tattoo? First person who texted me back, my mum texted me saying no tattoos. Straight up.
There's a QR code on the forehead.
Yeah, just like no tattoos.
I love that. Oh, I mean, to be fair, that's a good plug right there. Actually, do some tattooing actually at Adobe. I mean, even the work. I mean, that's the beauty of why I think these kind of events are here, because you get to see, you know, various creatives coming together, creating work, inspiring each other. Is anything that you kind of seen that you felt like you've been quite inspired, or even just the fact that, you know, you've got all walks of life being in one space? Is that for you? Does that give you an inspiration for maybe creating content?
Yeah, I think just being around other creative people, man, is always good. I mean, just when I'm with other people, you just get this energy of like, let's make something cool. I mean, I'm here with my manager Jordan, and then the other manager.
Hey guys, they're the background.
They're behind there. We're just gonna make some videos. Like, we're gonna walk around. We're gonna make some videos. We're gonna try out the stalls and everything like that, and just see what comes to mind.
It's like Disneyland, right? For creators.
Yeah, it's just like, you know,
in East London. Yeah.
Got like 100 Macs through there with Adobe products open on them. So
glowing apples.
Mental. Just everywhere. It's great.
Nice. And I guess, I mean, I've got a few questions because I want to throw some stuff out there.
Sure.
And of course, in the chat, any questions you have, let us know. For students and grads, because I mean, a lot of students, grads, they come here, and even for those who tune online, have you got any tips that you can really give? I mean, you mentioned the idea of doing stuff what you love. Maybe for some students, or grads who the confidence is an issue. Like you mentioned, confidence is the key word. Is there anything that you think that you could help them in terms of how they can kind of boost their confidence when it comes to new work?
The confidence comes when you take the action. I think you've got to take the action first, and then the confidence will come later. You know, when I first started making videos, I was very kind of like hesitant and worried, what will people think of me online? You just got to bypass that completely, because all that is just like a thought in your head. You have no idea. Just get the video out there and let the audience kind of decide how it's going to do. And just keep at it. Just keep at it. It takes a while to build these things. I mean, I posted a load of videos before I had any video do well. You know, on Instagram especially, man, I was posting for years until anything did well. TikTok was doing well first. But you just got to keep at it. If you want to do it, just go and actually just make the stuff and get it out there. I did a video yesterday on this. Like in the beginning, your content is not going to be good. Like
I saw actually. I did see that one.
You saw that. You see everything, man.
Giant Mystic Meg Ball.
But yeah, like I say, it's like your content in the beginning is not going to be good. You're going to watch your favorite content creators. You're going to see their thing. You're going to be blown away, and you're going to be like, I want to create that. You're going to try and create it, and it's going to look nothing like it.
It's the comparing, right? That's something that maybe during lockdown as well, especially when we're all outdoors. Obviously, you mentioned that's where you maybe built your best work. Your best content was behind closed doors during lockdown. But actually, there's elements as well of people having to be like, on social media a lot, which is good, of course, the balance. But also the elements of maybe comparing as well. How do you kind of find that line between almost like overconsumption of social media, but I guess it's like utilizing it for the good and the bad. Like, is there a filter when it comes to, do you find, or do you just think I can navigate it through without having to be? Does that make sense? I don't know.
It makes sense. I don't know.
It's a big one. That.
I just don't compare anymore. I don't compare to any of the content creators that are on there. I get inspiration from a lot of content creators. I think that's the real good side of social media, is that you can go on there and you can find hundreds of super talented people and pull inspiration from all of them and kind of then create your own little thing from there. I think it's a place to get inspired. It's not a place to compare and get, and get disheartened. And it's just like a journey of improving your own content and getting it all out there, really.
You mentioned, even the idea of the journey, sometimes actually the journey itself is better than the final destination. Like, do you know what I mean?
Always. We're conditioned.
Lord of the Rings kind of vibe there.
There we go. We're getting all deep now. I love it.
It started,
We're just conditioned, man. Conditioned to get to the next thing. But, have fun, man. Just have fun on the journey.
I can see a question from Connor, actually. Said, so where is this event taking place? So today we're in Truman Brewery, East London, in Shoreditch, and that's where we're having the D&AD event with Adobe, of course, as well as collaboration. And a question for yourself, Luca, from Tim, who said, do you consider yourself as a video maker or photographer these days?
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I like it. Keep them coming.
A hybrid, to be honest. I got asked this the other day, which do I prefer? At the moment, video, to be honest. What I love at the moment is having fun on camera, being crazy with the editing, just doing fun stuff like that. So on that front, I'm going to say I'm more video, but I do love a good photo shoot.
Depends on the day.
It does, man. I do both. I do both. I'm like a bit of a hybrid between many things.
To be fair, that's quite cool, because a lot of the guests we've had today, I think, when we sometimes try and not niche about what we do, but it's like we like doing things like different sometimes, right? Mixing it up. Sometimes healthy, I think, right? Just you don't do the same thing all the time forever. So,
totally. With content, man, especially lately, like I used to be very much solely photography, editing based content and doing tutorials and that kind of stuff. Moving now, fashion, fitness, travel, vlogs, anything, because it can be incorporated, right? We can make a crazy edit, we can do a photo shoot, or whilst doing a fashion thing. Like, there's just so many things you can do, and things can cross, and it's normal. People have more than one interest. Cars as well. It's like people all like different things, so mold them all together and you get something kind of unique.
Do you do things on the go? I get the vibe like you travel a lot. If you travel a lot, like, are you taking, like, I imagine you laptop, backpack, and you're just editing as you go?
I like to travel as light as possible, to be honest. I like the tiniest setup I can do. If a camera brand comes out with a really small camera that shoots really, I'm all in. I hate having tons of gear. I don't want a backpack.
The Google glasses. Just like
Backpack ruins a fit, man. I don't like it.
A little side hustle bag.
Just a strap. That's it.
I love that. And to actually fair, kind of maybe to kind of end on this note. Obviously, we mentioned in D&AD today the theme is all about making change, right? And obviously, you might have seen a lot of work, and myself as well included. There's a lot of work out there that's impactful, work that's out there to make change. If there was one thing you could change within our industry, or within your industry, I should say, what would it be? That's a big question, I know. I put it out there, but what would you say?
I'm gonna kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna turn that around and say like, there's nothing that I would change now, because I think so much has changed already. I think lockdown was the big precursor to this. It was happening before, for sure, but now I think anyone out there who wants to make content, who wants to just pick up a phone, pick up a camera, and start making content, can grow and make something out of this. And that's the change that's happened with short form content, especially, because it used to be long form content. If you wanted to be a YouTuber, you had to be it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of input. Now you can make short form content, little bite-sized things, so you can grow and you can make something out of it. So I think the change has happened already. I think it's so accessible now.
Sure.
It's so accessible, especially with how good phones are getting, how small cameras are getting and less expensive. It's accessible, man. So I think the change has already happened.
That's interesting. You mentioned like the technology side of it as well, right? Because obviously, with our line of work, we're quite reliant on technology to an extent, right? And there's a lot of things here about AI and this idea of the metaverse, and even with Adobe Firefly, we've got things happening where it's a bit intuitive now. It's exciting though, in terms of like making our life easier, but also the things that we could produce. I mean, where do you kind of, without I'm dropping loads of questions at you, but like the idea of like the future, I mean, the future of design, that's a bold question, but like with the elements of the help of, or the assistance, I should say, of technology, where do you kind of see things, in particular your field, kind of going? Again, is it on the go stuff? Anyone can pick it up?
I'm obsessed with AI at the moment. I think it's amazing what's going on right now. I've got a tab on my desktop, on my at home, of about 100 different tabs of different AI things I'm exploring.
I know it's a report sort of stuff.
Honestly, like my intern is just crazy with it. But I see it going as, right now we can create near photorealistic scenes with AI. I see that, in the future, very, very near future, that's going to be video realistic and it's going to be very good. Imagine this for a movie director or an animator who can literally type in a prompt to an AI software and it'll create the scene that they want to create. They don't have to get cameras, they don't have to get actors, they don't have to get a set, lighting, everything like that. They can literally type it in to a program and it creates the whole thing that they want to create like that. The accessibility there is mental.
And it's utilising it, I guess, for what's beneficial, right? For the individual.
So beneficial. Like, imagine all of like the super creative people who are out there who could be amazing movie directors or things like that just don't have the accessibility to a whole camera crew and the funding for that. They can have a laptop eventually when it's good enough. We're getting to the stage where it's good enough, especially in photos. Some of the photos that I've seen, you can't tell, is it real, is it fake?
True. Very true.
I saw one the other day and it looked like it was a painting. And it looked like it had been done in the Renaissance. Like, it was like some of the Pope of getting crowned, and I was like, that's amazing. Who painted that? Like, thinking it's like something from a museum. AI. It was just AI.
That's mental, man.
I was like, and I couldn't tell the difference. Couldn't tell the difference, man. So imagine when it gets like that in videos, and you can just design a whole scene, and actors and characters just by prompts on AI. Is going to be insane.
Do you know what came to mind whilst you were saying that? Like the idea, even like collaboration, like especially collaboration from overseas. Could you imagine, like, if I'm based in the UK, or obviously I am like based in, I don't know, somewhere in Japan, for example. Maybe there's ways that you can kind of link up through that idea of, I mean, technology's already there and whatnot. Obviously on the Photoshop and Adobe and bits and bobs, you can do stuff where it's just easier to kind of connect with your fellow creative wherever you are in the world, right? So I feel like we covered quite a lot there. There's a little fly coming around that. This is live stream, this is what we get, right? Live.
You get everything.
Luca, it's been a pleasure, dude, to have you here. I hope you enjoyed it,
Yeah, loved it, dude. Loved it.
And of course, my friends, we're going to be here still. We've got a lot of guests coming up still, so stay tuned and we'll see you very shortly. Ciao.